Milestone is here repairing our air conditioning, and Alan can't wait to tell everyone about it.
Milestone fixed our AC. Milestone fixed our AC.
We fix, install, and maintain your AC. Call Milestone today for the Milestone tune-up for just $129.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Cave Chatter. My name is Justin. I'm here with Cameron. How you doing today?
It's a great day, Justin. It's a great day. It's always a great day during football season when
Yes,
you
it
got
is.
a good team. So I'm happy. Had some good week fantasy overall, mostly.
Yeah.
Still can't seem to catch a break in our Game of Inches league, but other than that, I've been doing really good. Cowboys still winning. Your Packers are still winning.
That's right.
We both got some good teams, you know?
That's right. Yeah, I been rolling through it in fantasy. I'm 5-1 in the Game of Inches.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm like 43 and
You're
23 total this season.
You're about to be 6-1 in Game of Inches.
Cause I'm playing you.
Yep.
We're actually playing each other in 2 leagues.
Yes, and one of them I will already tell you right now, it's a loss.
That's not very.
So we were just going over this right before we started recording. I'm starting 2 players that I literally just picked up from the waiver wire, starting immediately, and then 2 other players that I just got in a trade last week. So I've got 4 players who 2 weeks ago weren't on my roster and are having to start this week due to the bye weeks as well as some injuries. So that's why I say it's not looking good. I will gladly give you the win this week. Not gladly, but I can confidently say if you don't beat me, that says more about your team than it does about mine.
I don't know. I do have something for you for that though.
Mm-hmm. What is this?
Excuses.
If y'all can't tell, Justin finally figured out how to play music during our show, so he's gonna abuse that. If
I just thought about this song. That's by Kane Brown.
I could tell.
Yeah.
He's got a very distinguishable voice.
Excuses.
It's not excuses when it's the truth.
But it would be if it was the other way around.
If I had my full team and I lost, that'd be okay.
We'll see.
I'm decimated right now. I'm starting Latavius Murray as my number 2 running back.
He's questionable too.
Exactly. But in the other league that we're like you said, we're playing up against each other in 2 leagues. Both of them are money leagues, so there's actual meaning. One of them's a money league.
Yeah.
The money league.
Let's not get on that rant.
Sorry.
But
the money league, I feel a little bit more confident. I've only got a couple, but unfortunately, my starting quarterback is on a bye, Dak Prescott. So
I'm in first place in both those leagues too, right? 5-1.
You are 5-1 in both. I am 4. Somehow I'm 4-2 and in 5th place. This league is insane. So I'm only 1 game behind you, but I'm in 5th place out of 10 teams. That's crazy. And then obviously Game of Inches, I'm 2-4. I'm not really happy about that one.
I did have a major cock block on Cameron on the waiver wires.
Yeah, you did. We talked about this a little bit earlier.
So his starting quarterback is on bye.
Justin Herbert. For
And
those of you who don't know, I have Justin Herbert in all but 1 league, I think, that I'm in.
Yes, and I already have a backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided it was nice to go pick up Derek Carr off the waivers just so he couldn't get him. So he had to go get stuck with Jameis Winston.
Yeah, and then if that sounds crazy, what the heck? How is Derek Carr a free agent?
Yeah.
It's our 8-team friend
Yeah.
dynasty league. So that's kind of how, every team got 2
So
quarterbacks,
he will be getting dropped right after first snap of Jameis Winston's game.
Well, Jameis Winston plays Monday night. So. I think, we have waivers no matter what. So if you drop him Saturday or Sunday, he's not going to clear waivers.
So.
But yeah, I saw it when the waiver wire came through this morning because I had put in a claim for him, but it was my number 2 claim.
Yeah.
And he got picked up. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I knew instantly that you only picked him up to screw me.
Strategy.
It's not like I said, I've said it before, I'm not huge on the projections, but you're projected to beat me by 40 points right now, so that's one where it's like, okay,
I'm projected to win the championship too.
Well, that's not how that works.
All right, so we do got a big show ahead today. Week 6, episode 13. First, I'd like to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, click that button below it. Subscribe. We really would appreciate it. We truly do love our fans, and we want y'all's feedback on everything we do.
Yep.
So let's get started. Today's agenda, we're going to go over some big 3 injuries, which really is just big team injury
Yeah, right.
injuries. Our new segment is called Discussions for the Cave. So we're kind of just going to have some deep convos about what's going on around fantasy football these days. Then we'll have our cave nugget, and then we're going to finish off with our top 5 week 6 fantasy running backs. I know we're a little bit late on the week. We had some stuff pop up, but we're still going to get it out there and kind of give y'all some feedback on what happened this week. So first things first, let's talk about some injuries. Man,
A lot of injuries.
I think the Browns are starting to roll downhill, if you know what I mean.
The crap has hit the fan with the old Brownies.
Yep.
Yeah, they are. It's crazy. This is not something you typically see with a team.
It's insane.
Their top 2 running backs are out this week. Their starting quarterback's out this week. I believe
Odell might be.
Odell might be out. Jarvis Landry's already out. I believe both their tackles have not practiced so far this week.
Yeah.
So it's right, and they're going up against a good defense too. Started out good. They still have good players on the Denver defense, a good defensive line. So it could be rough out there for the
Kareem
Browns.
Hunt, that's the biggest hit. It said up to 6 weeks with a calf injury.
That's going to be the biggest news of the week. Is that Kareem Hunt is going to miss. He's on IR, so that's guaranteed 3 games right there. So minimum of 3 games, but they're saying it likely is going to be a month or maybe even 5-6 weeks for him.
And then Baker, non-throwing arm, luckily.
Yeah.
But it's still a labrum on it. I saw him go down.
We texted at the same time.
I don't know how it didn't just completely tear. Because it already had partially tear.
The way he landed on it, it did not look good.
Oh, man. It made my shoulder hurt.
Yeah.
I got a partially torn labrum, so I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, so if you had any of the Browns running backs like me, I have Nick Chubb in 3 leagues, I believe. I was not excited that Kareem Hunt got hurt, but I was like, okay, well, Nick Chubb's going to get more of the workload. He's, good. Hopefully he comes back. And then I was like, I saw, they're playing Thursday night this week. Crap.
They're not going to rush it. And their bye week's not till like week 11. Week 11 or 13. Yeah, so
let me see.
he doesn't get a week off to rest.
Week 13.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal. But, yeah, so Cleveland running backs right now, obviously the most picked up running back is Dearness Johnson.
I got him.
And then Demetric Felton, they're saying is going to... Nobody knows what they're... I don't know how much you can trust either of those two. Because
I like
really
Johnson, but Felton, I don't know.
Well, okay, so Felton last week got 20% of the snaps. Johnson last week got 20% of the snaps. And that was obviously with Kareem Hunt in there for... He got hurt in, the third quarter, the fourth quarter?
Fourth, on a garbage slant play. He wasn't even involved in the play.
In a blowout game, too. So, for the majority of the game, it was Kareem Hunt. So, you still don't know what they're going to do. The reports are saying that Dearness Johnson is he's going to be more of the early down back. Felton's going to be more of the receiving back.
He's kind of like a Cordero Patterson. He plays wide receiver and running back.
Yeah, he's listed.
That's both.
I don't know if he is listed. Felton is. But, I mean, they might just be... So, Nick Chubb is the early down back, and then Kareem Hunt is the third down back and the pass catching back. It's going to be the same exact thing here, I think, with Dearness Johnson and Demetric Felton. So, at least for...
keep going.
No, I was going to say, at least for tomorrow, going up against... why is this? Oh, Nick Chubb. Going up against Denver. Denver is very stingy against the running backs. So, especially with a backup quarterback,
but they've also given up most passes to your running backs.
Denver defense has.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me that if there is one, I would lean more towards Felton.
Yeah.
Because, especially like I said, with a backup quarterback, their best friends are the tight end and a pass catching running back.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want them standing back there too long. You just want them to get the ball snapped, get it out of their hands quick. So
you're telling
pass
me
catching running back.
If I have a tight end on the bye week, maybe go pick up Hooper? Because I would say y'all need to go get Peoples-Jones, but now Baker went down. Because Odell...
Yeah, Peoples-Jones is big with him. But as far as tight end, I think... almost stuttered there. Njoku...
I think you did study.
Njoku has had a huge week.
He's hurt too.
2 weeks ago. They actually... Today, they said he's cleared for...
Oh, really?
He's cleared. He was a full participant in practice today, as of Wednesday, the day before the game. And then Austin Hooper is going to be listed as the starting tight end for this week. But, I mean, he's not had a good season, Austin Hooper. Yes, if there's any game that I do have faith in him, it'd probably be this one. Like you said, it'd have to come down to bye week, injury.
And it's Thursday night.
Those type of things.
Weird things happen on Thursdays.
I am a big believer in starting your players on Thursday nights. Gotta do it, man. Thursday nights are high-scoring games.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time a few years ago when Thursday night games were just stinkers. Like when they first started doing Thursday nights.
Yeah.
I guess players just weren't adjusted to it or whatever. But now, it's like...
Defenses are worn out.
Defenses don't translate, but offenses
Well,
do.
also they get 3 days to get ready. Really 2 days to get ready for a game script instead of a whole week. Defense is hard watching film, learning. They have 3 less days, 2 less days. So.
Yeah, so again, for me personally, thinking about what you said about Denver giving up the 7th most passes to its running back, being a very stingy run defense, I would lean towards more towards Felton than I would Johnson for this game. If they're going to do it where Johnson's the early down back, and then Felton's going to be that pass-catching third down back like a J.D. McKissick, like a Kareem Hunt has been. So
yeah,
that's why I think I kind of lean more towards him. That's just me. I would hope. I mean, of course, like I said, I've got Nick Chubb in some leagues, so I kind of am.
I have Chubb in a couple too.
I'm kind of forced to consider Felton, but for your sake, I hope that you're not relying on one of these two guys.
No, I'm playing you, so either way.
That's true. That's true. So I would not play Johnson.
So our big 3 injuries, I would say, at this moment, are Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, and Baker Mayfield. There are some other questionable players right now. Hawkinson says questionable. Tyreek Hill with the quadritis.
Oh, it's a weird. It's just quad.
Is it just tendonitis in your quad or?
Maybe. I don't know much more, but yeah, it's a quad injury.
Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski might come back this week, although he has not practiced this week. But they're saying he's potentially going to be a game time decision this week. So obviously, Rob Gronkowski has been a monster this season. So if you have him in your leagues, be looking forward to this week at the earliest, but maybe more so next week, him coming back. But definitely keep your eye out on Sunday. They play at 3 o'clock this week.
Okay.
So keep your eye out on Sunday. I'm sure, whatever pregame show you watch is going to have their updates on his injury status. But definitely keep an eye out for him because if he is healthy and he is playing, that's a guy that you want in your lineup.
Yeah. It's also something I've thought about doing is on Sunday mornings before church. If you ever wake up before sun comes up, but...
Oh, I do on Sundays.
We can do like an injury update show. But it'd have to be live.
Live? I can do anything live. Are you kidding? This is practically live. We don't edit anything.
Not anymore.
Okay.
Next thing is going to be our new segment that I invented today. So if it sucks, let us know. But I
don't think it will suck.
I think it's going to be sweet. It's called Discussions for the Cave. I think it's going to allow us to get in kind of the deeper issues that people are dealing with when they are sitting down at their office desk and have nothing to do, and they're tinkering with their starting lineup. So let's just dive into this. I think it's going to be a good one. First one we got is Tyler Lockett no longer worth starting. This one hits me personally.
How many leagues do you have Tyler Lockett in?
Just 2, but one of them is our big league, and he's literally lost me single-handedly 3 games. Like, I've lost by 2 points because of him.
Yes.
So I am not going to be biased with this one, so I'm going to use stats to back this one up. I'll let you start this one off because it's very frustrating.
For me, Tyler Lockett is not a start and sit player. Or start him and however you want to say it. Start him and forget about him, where you just put him in your starting lineup.
He was first 2 weeks.
Don't think about it. First 2 weeks of the year, yes. Last couple seasons he has been, but so far this year he's more of a wide receiver. Like in years past, he was a borderline wide receiver 1, guaranteed wide receiver 2. Whereas this year he's a probably mid to high end wide receiver 2. On the low end, he's a good flex. So for me, it always, when you get into questions like this about, is this guy still a viable starter in fantasy? Is this guy still someone that you don't worry about on a weekly basis? It all depends on what you have around him, right? What does the rest of your team look like? If he's a guy that you have been depending on because, so right now, for instance, he's still wide receiver 24.
Because of weeks 1 and 2.
That has a lot to do with
100-yard game and 178-yard game.
Yes. So with that, if you go, because I like to do it a lot. You click on the player, whatever app you have. Click on the player. They'll show you. They'll pull up their name. They'll pull up the big description of them. Most apps will have the ranking of their positional ranking.
Sleeper is the best.
Sleeper's really good about it, where
you can even see their backups.
You click on them, and it's right here. It's player rank number 24 wide receiver, number 63 overall. I do it a lot where I click on my players just to see where they're ranked in the season total, right? Because you kind of get lost in it because you have your big names who maybe underperform, or you have the guys on your bench who don't realize they've been overperforming.
The fact that Kareem Hunt is ranked higher than Chubb, I would have never told you that.
That too.
Until I looked at the stats.
That too. And again, like I had just a couple weeks ago traded Chase Edmonds in one league, and PPR at the time he was RB13, and he was my, in my eyes, my 4th best running back on my team, but he was RB13.
Because he's not flashy.
Right. And so, going back to Lockett, like I said, it depends on what you have the rest of your team. If you have guys, another thing I like to look at is average, like per game average. So, for Lockett, he has, right now, I just had it pulled up, he's averaging...
His yards per catch is still good.
His yards per catch is good. Where is it? Oh, about 13 points per game right now. 13, 14 points per game.
In PPR.
In PPR, yes. So look at the rest of the guys on your team. See what their season averages. Obviously, with Lockett, it's a little bit different because he had those 2 huge weeks. Since then, he's only cracked double-digit points in PPR.
Well, he's only cracked 50 yards once.
Yeah, so, I mean...
In 4 weeks. 50 yards.
Even in those first 2 games of the year, he only had... The first game of the season, he only had 4 catches.
Exactly.
But he had 100 yards,
but that's
2 touchdowns.
With Russell. Now he has Geno Smith.
That's another thing where he gets...
So that's mainly my main concern.
When you have a backup quarterback who doesn't have... Like, Geno Smith hasn't played a game in, I think 4 years or something?
Oh, yeah. Russell Wilson hasn't missed a game in 10 years.
There's no way of knowing how he's... unless you work for the Seahawks and you see him practice every day, there's no way of knowing how he's going to connect with Tyler Lockett.
I know. Right? That's why he's still in my starting lineup.
So, for me, if I have a already... borderline wide receiver 2, borderline flex. If their starting quarterback goes out, I immediately put him back to the bench, and to me, it's like, okay, now you have to prove again that you're a viable option with a backup quarterback.
Yes.
Right? Because you're not playing the same. Like, with Russell Wilson, obviously, and this is where it gets a little different. When you have a guy on your team, you see all their flaws and you see all the bad games.
It's very frustrating.
Whereas I don't have Tyler Lockett in any league, right? So I still consider him. If someone tells me, "Oh, do I want to start Tyler Lockett?" I'm like, "It's Tyler Lockett. Of course you start."
Yeah, until he bites you in the butt 4 times.
So it is kind of, you're always gonna, depending on the time. Like for me, I always over-evaluate my players. I do it. I'm very bad at
You over-evaluate everything in your life.
No, that's
not just your fantasy players.
My guys, I have some of the best. I always say my guys are the best. I always think that they're capable of doing much more, and then they go out and have a dud. I'm like,
obviously they're not. They're 2-4.
Exactly, and now I'm 2-4. So
in one league, he is in first place in the league that I won last year. So if I don't win a championship, it'd be nice for Cameron to win it because we are 2 new rookies. I won it my second year in the league. If he won it his second year in the league,
this is my second year in the league. So that would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for me, with Geno Smith as a quarterback, last week he only had 5 points in a PPR. He only had 2 catches. He had the targets, but Geno Smith is not. He didn't look good. He didn't look accurate. I don't know. Look, that game was
boring.
It was boring. I was watching baseball along with the football game. Excuse me. So I didn't see every single time where Geno Smith, threw a ball down the field. I didn't see how it looked.
It was awful.
For Tyler Lockett, those matter. You have to have a guy like Russell Wilson who's a great deep ball thrower. So all that discussion to say, if I have Tyler Lockett on my team, he's going on my bench until he can prove that he's a viable option with Geno Smith in there at quarterback. And that, unless you have a DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae, unless you have a quarterback-proof wide receiver, you always have to, with a backup quarterback, they have to prove it again that they are a viable option for you every week.
Yeah. I guess I completely agree with that. I just thought it'd be a good discussion because I have seen it all over Twitter too. If you follow any fantasy football pages, people are commenting and sending messages like, "Hey, should I start Lockett? What's going on? Time to trade before it gets too bad." So I figured it was good. I figured I wasn't the only person worrying about Tyler Lockett. So
yeah, and that Tyler Lockett's just the name for this, but there's a lot of quote unquote Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, there are a lot of quote. I mean, don't even get me started on Darren Waller in non-PPR leagues.
You're right. But I was going to say, look at Cleveland this week. I'm terrified. I wouldn't start any Cleveland receivers this week. It goes back to the backup quarterback discussion. Obviously, Russell Wilson was in there, the previous few weeks when Lockett was doing bad. But I still think if Russell Wilson's in there, there's just too much upside.
Yeah.
But with him and not in there, I'm putting him on my bench.
Yeah, I agree. He's on my bench in one of my leagues, and he's starting in the other. So, next. I know me and you've already discussed this right after it happened. It's kind of a non-fantasy football related unless you really needed this overtime game to go deeper so you can get more points. Luckily, I had Josh Allen, Diggs, and Henry during this game, so I was not worried at all. But if you did need one more point from Diggs, one more point from Josh Allen, they did screw you over big time. Are the Bills stupid for not kicking a field goal? If you didn't watch the game, a field goal would have tied it, sent them to overtime.
They had
Monday night.
I can tell you right now. They had 4th and 1 from the Titans 3 yard, so 4th and goal.
Yeah, 4th and goal.
Or no, it was 4th
and 1 on the 3-yard line.
So they could have got a first down. With 22 seconds left, they still had 1 timeout remaining. They decided to go for it. Josh Allen was stuffed on the goal line. But
it was not the first time that night he'd been stuffed. So, why?
Well,
I think the Bills are stupid, especially division game, right? No, not division. AFC.
I remember watching. I'm like, are these guys not in division? I know.
I thought
they do feel like division opponents.
But they're both. Bills could have been 5-1 after this week.
They have a.
They shot themselves in the foot momentum wise.
No, I don't. They've got a bye this week, but so I'm not gonna. Well, okay. Outright.
You said you agreed with.
I 100% agree. If you know me, if you listen to me, if like in our group text, I'm king of wanting to go.
Well, I love going for a fourth down, but not when you have the best offense of football and a field goal sends you to another quarter of football.
Well, there's the thing. Why do you want to risk going to overtime?
Why? Because
dependent on a coin flip. What happens if Tennessee wins that coin flip?
They put 12 men in the freaking box and I'll let Derrick Henry get a yard.
You don't think they tried that all night?
Or 11 men in the box. Maybe 12 if the refs can't. The refs suck this year anyways. They might not see it.
That's true. But, I mean, Derrick Henry had already had... Let me pull it up real quick. They had already scored...
Oh, I had Derrick Henry.
They had already scored 10 points.
140 yards.
On the last few drives before the... So, this was their second half drives, the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll go back even towards the end of the first half. These are consecutive drives. Touchdown, end of the first half. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown, kneel out the clock to end the game. So, or even, we can even go back before that. The Titans, after they punted on the first two possessions and were picked off on their third possession. After that, they scored on every single possession from the remainder of the game. That's from the second quarter to the fourth quarter. So every single time Tennessee touched the ball from the second quarter
they scored.
They scored.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They can't be perfect every time.
No, you cannot. That's not how you coach a football game. You have to know
all I
what
know
your team is good at.
Is if I have Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and Emmanuel Sanders, I am going...
You go for it on fourth down.
No, I am going to give my team one more shot. No.
So, I've got some statistics here for you.
Here we go.
I love my stats. I am huge on analytics in football. I think football is somehow the last sport to get analytics into it. It's crazy. Who would have thought baseball would be
first,
the very first sport to have analytics come and take over the sport?
But yet they can't figure out if somebody beat a trash can or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, makes sense. But go Astros. Red Sox suck.
Okay. How can you say that and then say go Astros? Anyway, so I've got some numbers here. Like I said, on that fourth down play, if the Bills go for it and even just pick up a first down, their win percentage jumps 13 points.
Okay.
13 percentage points just by picking up 1 yard. Mm-hmm. If you go to overtime, this is where overtime it's a little weird to get an accurate win percentage model just because the overtime rules are different, plus the coin flip.
Yeah, they need to go to college rules.
They should. They really should. That's another discussion. But, so... in just regulation, getting a first down bumped your winning percentage points 12%. That's an instant, because almost every team now has actual analytics, has actual things that they look at.
Because of Moneyball.
Win percentage, yes, because of Moneyball. Win percentage is the most base one that these coaches go off of. How much does my win percentage jump by making this decision versus this decision? Right?
Yeah.
On should I punt it here? Should I kick it here? Should I go for it? On that play, you had a 12% difference on if you should go for it or not. That is just for context, I think anything if it's 1 or 2%, it's up in the air. If it's 3 to 5%, it's go for it. Anything over 10 is you're an idiot if you don't go for it.
I get that. I love going for a fourth down. I get pissed off anytime the Packers don't.
Y'all don't even have Mike McCarthy anymore. Y'all still ain't going for it on
fourth and 3, and we got the best quarterback in the league, and we punt it. Then we get me started. But I just think when it comes to overtime, you got to give your team one last chance to. That's just my thought. Food for thought.
Another thing, I searched everywhere. I saw a tweet the other day where somebody had tweeted out Josh Allen prior to this game was like, I think it was like 18 for 20 on quarterback sneaks.
I saw that.
On 4th and 1 quarterback sneaks.
Yeah.
So he was at 90% for his career.
Yeah.
And
I get that.
you're not going to do
but
that.
everybody in the world knows at that moment that's coming.
Well, okay, then that goes back.
What about reverse play? Something.
Depending on, like, I'm not a huge fan of quarterback sneaks.
I'm not either, 'cause
unless it's literally...
It all matters on how your center gets off the ball.
Right, and also what type of... Like, Tom Brady is the king. You just have... As a quarterback, that's almost a skill to know how to quarterback sneak well. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a huge... I think there's other plays that are better than a quarterback.
Rodgers would rather just catch your 12th man on the field. Get his first down. He's awesome at that.
I don't think a defense is going to do that on the goal line with 20 seconds left.
No, have you ever noticed? But that's why they no huddle on third down so much.
Yeah, they get up to the line so that if the other team is substituting to get their pass rush on. But back to this play. I love when you have a good quarterback. I mean, Josh Allen's a great quarterback. But when you have just a good quarterback, 4th and 1s should almost always be automatic go for it situations. There's too many times, there's too many ways a good quarterback can beat a deep, especially in this day and age where offenses put up all these yards, all these points. If it's 3rd and 1, you feel confident you can pick up a yard, but for some reason when it gets to 4th and 1, they're always like, it's people being too scared of the failure of it. People are too like, well, I mean, look at the Chargers. I love the Chargers, how much they go for it. This last week, they went for it on 4th and 4. They were down, it was in the 3rd quarter, they were down by, I think, 3 touchdowns at the point. But they went for it on their own 25.
You have to.
Something like that. Why not?
Yeah.
That's why you go.
But I think it also comes down to how many yards your team averages per play, all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
If you're the Dallas Cowboys 2016, you don't go for it because all I do is throw swing passes for 2 yards.
That's not a good example. That's the year they went 13-3. So maybe Cowboys 2017.
17 when they just did swing passes every other play.
So, to go back, the Cowboys on their first possession of the game, 3rd and 1. Were you watching the game? Their very first possession of the game, they had the ball on their own 20-something. 3rd and 1, up the middle to Zeke. 4th and 1, up the middle with Zeke. I love going for the 4th and 1 unless you're just going to slam it into the nose of the defense.
But don't even get me started on that. Y'all pay the man $40 million. You can't even give him the ball on the goal line to win the game.
That wasn't to win the game.
When Dak fumbled?
That was at the end of the half.
No, Dak fumbled in the 4th quarter at the goal line.
Justin, that was at the end of the first half.
Was it the first half?
Yes.
Either way.
And then in the game, it went to overtime.
Because I thought they fumbled in the end zone.
No.
Okay.
That was at the end of that.
Either way, y'all don't trust Zeke at all.
They trust Zeke. It's just
all right.
I said, that goes back against agrees with my quarterback sneak.
I get that.
I don't like quarterback sneaks, but I am 100% on the if you have 4th and 1, go for it. Especially even if you're the freaking Jets, even if your offense sucks, 1 yard is not difficult in the National Football League. It's 1 yard. It's not hard, no matter who your personnel is. Every team should be doing
I've always been... last thing before we go into the next one. I've never understood why on 4th and 1, they don't just do a pitch. Your running back's fast enough to beat the guy off the line.
Well, depending on who... I mean, there's fast DBs, too.
Yeah.
You get tripped up.
I'm just saying.
Well,
a little...
You go be offensive coordinator, then why don't you just call... pitches like that.
Yeah. So, for the sake of time, those are my 2 cave discussions. Discussions of the cave. We'll hit the last one next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do like those, though.
Yeah, those are good ones. Hopefully I can come up with some better ones. But...
before we get... What are we doing next? Sorry. Go ahead.
It's cave nugget time.
There we go. I was going to say, don't skip over that.
No, it's cave nugget time for sure. For sure. So, Today's Cave Nugget.
Yes.
What wide receiver had the most receptions in Week 6?
Oh, no!
I had to. This was perfect for this.
I at least go a little faster. At least our other one. But, I think it... Gosh. Well, okay, I need a hint. I mean, that's like...
Whoa!
entire
No
National
hints.
Football League. I think in all my leagues, my best receiver in terms of points this week was Adam Thielen. And I'm trying to remember, because I know they went into overtime too, and I have him in my 2-quarterback league.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it my dynasty? Oh, I'm not gonna. One of my leagues,
You
my
can't
big
look.
money leagues, and I know he was my biggest point scorer, and I think he only scored 1 touchdown. I know he had over 100. I'm just gonna say Adam Thielen.
Final answer?
Yeah.
You're correct. Good
If I didn't have
job.
him- if I didn't have him on my team,
Oh, man. Wrong one.
no, that's awful.
There we go. Good job. I'll give you that one. I thought you were going to pick Sterling Shepard because he had 12.
Weeks. Sterling Shepard had 12.
Yeah. First game back.
Well, how many did Thielen have?
13.
I think your numbers are off.
I don't think so.
Shepard had 10.
10. Thielen had 13.
And Thielen had 11.
11.
Close enough.
Thielen had 13 targets, huh?
Geez, 13 targets and 11 catches.
Is that what it was? I know I saw 13.
That's incredible. That's really good. But yeah, like I said, that's the only reason I knew, because I was like, wait, Adam Thielen,
I didn't know you had him on your team. What league?
it's in my super flex sleep.
I would have never picked that if I knew that.
I'm 3-3 in that league, but I did get a win. Even though, like, somehow I'm 3-3. I've got Josh Allen. It's because my running backs suck. DJ Moore, Adam Thielen, Derek Carr, in a 2-quarterback league. Oh, Deebo Samuel. He was on bye. Oh, and Nick Chubb. That team is so good, and I'm 3-3. Anyways, let's move on. Sorry.
You said you wanted to say something before we got going.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget the cave nugget. I thought we were gonna roll on right
No, I'll never forget that. There's only one episode, and it's because we were so busy. So next, what y'all have all been waiting for, we're going to talk about the Week 6 top 5 running backs. We will start from going from 5 down to 1.
So you're number 5. Say who the number 5 is?
Daryl Henderson.
Yes. I was confused because he was tied with Najee, and I thought Najee was going to be it.
Oh, yes, Najee. So they're both 5. I just picked Henderson because it was more of a...
Oh, this is the wrong... I was wondering. I was like, what league is this? Because my point system was all messed up. There's some leagues I play in that have rewards. So
Oh, the bonuses?
Yeah, and so Dalvin Cook was in the top 5 in that one. I was like, Dalvin Cook?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So Daryl Henderson, of course, you picked him over my guy Najee.
I have Najee in some of my leagues.
Yeah, Daryl Henderson. Shout out to JR was complaining to me and Justin on Sunday that he started. Who did he say he started over Daryl Henderson?
It didn't make any sense, to be honest. He started Hubbard.
Oh, Chuba.
Yeah, and so he did just as good.
Well,
Not just as good, but you know what I mean.
Right, he still had a good. I mean, Daryl Henderson had 2 touchdowns.
But I didn't want to call him out on it because I was confused on why he was complaining.
Daryl Henderson had a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. Now, for me, he was going up against the Giants. The Giants have a terrible run defense.
Yes.
He only averaged 3.7 yards per carry. That's a little bit, He did score a rushing touchdown. He had a couple catches out of the backfield. He had a touchdown catch. So that's contributing. He only had, he only had 78 rushing
Oh,
yards.
he had 78.
Obviously, that's a lot, but still. 21 carries, so only 3.7 yards per carry. That's average. That's a little less than average, actually. But cannot discredit the man found the end zone. They were going up against the lowly Giants. They're facing the Lions this week. I'm actually starting Daryl Henderson in my DraftKings lineup this week. So, I think it's going to have a repeat performance in my eyes.
I do. I agree. I think they finally figured out to give him the ball more. I think his stock is only going up.
I would agree with you, except they were also blowing out the Giants. No, I mean, they were still throwing the ball in the third and fourth quarter, which I was surprised. I thought but, I mean, he still got 21 carries. So, he had, I think I just had it, his snap percentage was 82%.
Really?
That's really good.
I did not know that.
Really, really good. That's his third best of the season. Again, also to go with his third best rushing total of the season. But the most points he scored all year, and that's just because he had 2 touchdowns, whereas he had only had 1 touchdown in 3 previous games. But again, I hope that they continue to use him because he is a really good running back. I like what I see whenever he has the ball in his hands. So going up against a bad Detroit Lions defense this week, they're going to be up big again.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to get a lot more work.
He's gotten over 12 touches every game.
And that's just in terms of rushes.
Yeah, just rushes.
That's not
Receiving.
That's not even counting.
So with receiving, it's around 15 to 20 every game. Total. Between touches and...
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's
So,
really, really good.
my next one. Joe Mixon.
Can't say it.
Man. I can. Because I will say...
He doesn't.
Mixon does need a fixing in the fourth quarter because I don't think I've seen him play a whole game. You know he gets hurt every fourth quarter, right?
Well, did he get hurt this week?
Yeah, he rolled his ankle.
It was because... I thought he came out because they were up big.
No.
Oh, yeah. Ankle injury.
Yeah. He gets hurt every game. He's just, tougher this year. He drinks a little bit more milk.
Yeah, it's no longer broken bones this year.
But he did. He had 94 yards, 18 attempts, 5 yards per carry. That's Derrick Henry stuff there.
That's my favorite thing. Now, it's hurt. I try to pick guys who have big yards per carry.
My favorite thing about Mixon is 6 receptions, or 6 targets, 5 receptions, 59 yards, 11.8 yards per catch. That's insane for a running back.
That also was...
What, his career high or something?
I was going to say, give me 1 second to confirm it, but I think I can confirm. Oh, that was his third most receiving yards he's ever had in a game in his career. Obviously, it was helped. If you watch the game, they went for it on 4th down, and it was 4th and 1, and they ran a wheel route for him out of the backfield, and he scored. I wish I could remember.
He will be on my radar next year after this season.
Oh, will he?
Yeah, I'm not a Joe Mixon fan at all.
I was going to say, I don't believe you on that, actually. I think you're going to change your mind in the offseason. You're going to convince yourself that he's not good. He always gets hurt, which, if you listen to me whenever we're doing our running back rankings, he does not... Yes, he always has nagging injuries, but last year was the first time he missed any games in his career.
It's probably because he's a Sooner and he's soft, like Spencer Rattler.
Did you... Okay,
He changed his bio.
Yeah, I was going to say,
but then
he changed his bio.
He added it back. It
Probably
says
because he got called out.
It says OU quarterback because he's so soft, dude.
What an idiot! He's probably like, oh, nobody. Oh wait, everybody noticed. Oh, let me put it back.
My favorite part of the Texas OU game is when I started the Spencer Rattler sucks chant.
Didn't really work out for you. We were sitting in the OU section.
But they all agree. They just couldn't.
Yeah, they did. No, definitely. It was fun for the first half whenever they were booing him.
Yeah.
But so again, Joe Mixon, another thing I love about Sleeper, they this sounds stupid. They color coordinate their stats.
I'm colorblind, so so are you.
Yeah, but I at least see color.
You talking about they color coordinate what?
So there, this is more of a visual than audio, but like you see, there's green here.
Yeah, it's on my phone.
Red. Yeah. So green is obviously above average.
Oh, really?
Red is below average, and yellow is average.
Okay.
Well, his yards in 5 out of the 6 games has been above average. His attempts in 5 out of the 6 games above average. And the one game it wasn't is because he got hurt. And his yards per carry are really good every week. Joe Mixon is a really good running back. Cincinnati, coming into the season, everyone dogged on their offensive line.
Because Burrow got destroyed last year.
Their offensive line, and they couldn't run the ball last year either. Their offensive line is playing really well. I think what helps is they're very balanced on offense. So you can't necessarily, to me, this is going to sound stupid or cocky maybe. They're like Cowboys light.
Oh my gosh.
Well, look, you can't. No, don't even. Stop it.
I really thought you were going to wear my Chargers hoodie tonight too.
I almost did, but they had a really bad game, and they're also on a bye week, so it didn't make sense.
So what about Cowboys?
But because Cowboys for 2-3 weeks in a row
sucked.
ran for over 200 yards. Last week, Dak throws for 450. They can beat you anyway. They've got all the weapons to throw the ball. They've got all the weapons to run the ball.
They have everything but a head coach.
Cincinnati is the same. It's just you wouldn't put any of their guys on the level that you kind of would the Cowboys. So that's why I say they're pretty similar, just younger
And better.
Maybe will be better. I'm very high on the future of the Cincinnati Bengals. They're 4-2 right now,
and Jamar Chase and Burrow are solid.
They do have a tough schedule coming up.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what these rookies are all about.
They do.
So
I think that they don't make the playoffs. I'm actually starting to want to root for this team. I don't think they make the playoffs this year.
Despite I was not a Joe Burrow fan in college just because he was ignorant. Not ignorant, wrong word.
Yeah.
I was like just
douchebag. That's your favorite word. I don't know why you think you can't say it.
Douchebag.
Yeah, it's your favorite word to call people.
But yours is idiot.
No, it's your favorite word.
Cameron loves calling everybody an idiot.
No, I only call you that, and only rarely when you say something stupid.
I don't say anything stupid. I speak the truth. Anyways, before we get to the next top 3 running backs of Week 6, since Cameron did bring up this topic.
What?
So, now that y'all have Mike McCarthy as your head coach, do you understand how good Aaron Rodgers is? He won a Super Bowl with that stupid idiot, as Cameron likes to say, head coach.
I'll say this, and again,
he's awful.
I'm going back to my...
I don't know what Jerry Jones was thinking.
I'm going back to my analytics. So you put all these stats together, and you can see if a head coach made the correct decision on their go-for-it situations.
I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about Jerry Jones hiring.
His time management?
Yeah, it's awful.
I like Mike McCarthy because he goes for it.
Yeah.
If you understand what...
He also wastes 4 minutes to drive.
But if you understand what hell we went through with Jason Garrett, the Cowboys would be on the opponent's 40-yard line.
Mr. Clapp.
And punt on a 4th and 1. And it was excruciating. So, when he was with the Packers, his best, correct call, go for it situation
was drafting Aaron Rodgers.
Was no in-game decisions, in-game 4th down go for it decisions. He only had about a 42% picking the right one. This year with the Cowboys, he's at nearly 70%. 70% of the time he makes the right decision.
He also has a 95% better team. Rodgers, I couldn't.
Oh, so the Cowboys are better than the Packers.
When the Packers won a Super Bowl, who was our running back? You can't even name them.
I probably can.
I could tell you.
We don't have the time because it's not good content. But if you gave me 5 minutes, I could think of who it was. Eddie Lacy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Fat Boy.
Yes.
And Ryan Grant. Fumble Mania.
You had what's his name? Old white boy receiver.
Jordy Nelson.
Jordy Nelson.
Yeah, that's like saying Wes Welker was good.
Wes Welker was good.
With Tom Brady,
okay.
Aaron Rodgers made Jordy Nelson.
Is that a problem?
What was that, 2011?
Yeah. Another side note, they won that Super Bowl as the wild card team. They were the 6th seed.
It was Ryan Grant.
if they don't go on a miracle Super Bowl run, Aaron Rodgers has 0 Super Bowls right now.
I know. But that's because his teams suck. It wasn't even Eddie Lacy.
I'm just saying that's insane. That the only reason
They went 15-1.
1 year, and then they lost. That was when they lost to the Seahawks, right?
The NFC North, yeah. So we won a Super Bowl in 2010.
11. It was. It was here in Dallas.
It wasn't 12.
It was 2010 season to 2011.
Yeah, that's why I get confused. Yeah, 2010. But they won Super Bowl in 11. That's why I said 11.
Yeah.
But our running back, you're gonna laugh at this. The year we won a Super Bowl, right? We went 10-6.
Yeah.
Brandon Jackson.
Brandon
You don't even know who that guy is.
I don't remember Brandon Jackson.
Exactly. Guess who our best receivers were?
Jordy Nelson.
Donald Driver.
I was gonna say Donald Driver.
At 35 years old. And then Greg Jennings at 27.
Oh, great.
But that's all we had.
Jenny.
Literally, you couldn't name another single player on that team besides A.J. Hawk and Clay Matthews.
Woodson.
Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
At 34 years old.
Yeah, but yeah, Greg.
How the heck did we win a Super Bowl?
Greg Jenny.
We won a Super Bowl because Rodgers is the best quarterback to ever play. Anyways, top 5, week 6 running backs. Number 3. Cameron's proud about this one.
Love this guy.
Who is
Jonathan Taylor.
Woo!
This dude, who I
145 yards.
He's a beast. Now there is the side note that they were playing the Texans. Yes, they were playing the Texans.
Carson Wentz had a day too.
Jonathan Taylor, man, he's so good. But like I'm looking at it right now, this is his snap percentage for every game, 6 games, starting from week 1. 55, 45, 48, 51, 52, and then 65% this past week. That's not good for a number 1 running back. That's not good.
That's because they have Marlon Mack and Hines.
This week, though, like I said, he bumped up to 65% this week, but also his attempts, he gets somewhere between 10. 10 is his lowest, and 17 is his
Which
max.
is good. That's a lot of attempts.
That's not what you want to see from your number 1 back.
What we just said that about Mixon.
Mixon has had...
Same thing.
No, Mixon has had...
Oh, it's Henderson.
29, 20...
Yeah, Henderson
18.
had 10 to 20.
Henderson...
But they also throw the ball
they
a lot.
a lot more. But Henderson has also had over 20 carries in a game. Jonathan Taylor's max right now is 17. But his yards per carry is so good. His yards per carry is elite in 3 of the games this year.
His offensive line's really good at the run
And
block.
they've even been missing Quentin Nelson, their guard. He's been out. And yet he's still... One game he was 6.4, another 6.4. Last week he averaged 10.4 yards per carry.
Yeah.
Just give him the football, and he will make plays happen.
Yeah, not this weekend. I need Winston.
Oh, San Francisco?
Yeah, that's going to be...
It's Sunday night.
Yeah, but
I think.
that San Francisco line is not easy to run against.
No, hold on, let me check.
Is it San Francisco? Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing San Francisco. I just have to check.
I thought it was Sunday night.
Yeah, Sunday night.
Yeah.
That's going to be... Look, I love Jonathan Taylor. He's one of my... Because coming out, I thought he was going to be so good. I drafted him in our rookie draft last year in Dynasty. I wanted him in our draft this year. JR, I'll make a trade if you want. I'll take Jonathan Taylor if you want to send me a trade. But, excuse me. Just give him the dude the ball. That's all I ask. Just give him the ball.
But
he's the best running back on the team. He doesn't get hurt. He can handle it. Give him the football.
But that's why he doesn't get hurt. Because they control his workload.
So stupid.
Look at all these workload running backs going down.
I mean, yes, but
Did you see
injuries are...
Did you see the thing today? It said, it was on Twitter. It said, have any of y'all recognized or noticed that CMC might be the next Todd Gurley?
No, Todd Gurley has no knees.
Exactly.
Todd Gurley has degenerative knees.
But he had his great seasons and then...
Christian McCaffrey at least has his knees. He hasn't torn any ACLs.
They said it. They said it, not me.
Well, they're wrong. It's probably one of those TikTok accounts.
So, no, I don't have TikTok. Actually, I do now because Cave Chatter created one. But I don't have a personal TikTok. So, 5, Daryl Henderson. 4, Joe Mixon. 3, Jonathan Taylor. And 2, which blew Cameron's mind, Leonard Fournette. I don't know why you were so shocked about this. He had 22 carries.
I knew he did good. It was the catches. I didn't realize he had.
Yeah.
One of the big things carrying, no pun intended, Leonard Fournette this year is
The receiving core?
his catching out of the backfield. The lowest he's had in a game this year is 3 catches.
Which blows my mind that they're still giving Bernard chances in the red zone. He has 2 touchdowns.
It's weird. I don't know. I think they just don't care about running backs.
So, like, Fournette has 22 attempts, 81 yards last week, 2 touchdowns, 6 catches, 6 targets, and 46 yards.
And I had him you had him in your DraftKings, right?
Yes.
That was one guy.
Yes. He won me money.
Yeah, he won me money too.
Yeah.
We both started him this week.
But I texted you earlier that day and said Fournette's going to have a huge day. Is that why you started him? He'll never admit it, fans, even if it was.
Memory's fuzzy. I don't remember.
Because I think I have a text that says, I don't know about that.
It was because they played Philly.
Yeah.
Why would I not start someone who's playing Philly?
Do I need to go find the text?
Philly's off. We were on it was a phone call, so I know there's.
It was.
There's
No.
There's no proof.
It was a phone call. Dang it.
So anyway, Leonard Fournette, he's 26. Is he like?
He seems like he's so much older.
Is he the sneakiest young player in the league?
He might be.
I thought he was
like 28, 29.
I wonder if it's like being on an old Tampa Bay team. Like everybody on that team is pretty old. I don't quote me on that, but
They are.
I feel like all their receivers.
That's why
are pretty
Brady
old.
went there.
Evans is 28.
Brady hates playing with rookies.
Godwin's 25 actually, but Antonio Brown's old. Gronkowski's old.
Brady hates playing with rookies.
I think that's why it just feels like Leonard Fournette. Plus, he just looks old.
Have you never noticed that? No rookie receiver for the
Except
Patriots.
for his last year in New England.
Because he had nobody.
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
Tom got frustrated with him.
So
Leonard Fournette had himself a good week. Back-to-back good weeks, too.
I don't understand why Leonard Fournette is at the Bucs, though.
They traded for him.
I know,
What do you mean?
but they gave up on that man so fast.
Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Well, James Robinson's better. Leonard Fournette, he doesn't blow, like, whenever I watch him play,
he's running like prime Leonard.
he doesn't blow me away whenever he's running the football. I'm just like, he's a running back.
Yeah, I think he runs hard.
I think whoever...
He runs a lot like Derrick Henry. They're big. He's a big man too, dude.
Way too high of praise for.
What do you mean? He's 6 foot 228,
230. Henry's 6'3", 250.
Yeah, but he runs like him. He puts his shoulder down.
Yeah, he's a power back for sure. I mean, he's got some speed to him, but there's several Leonard Fournettes
Either way,
out there in the NFL.
He was number 2 running back in fantasy with 30.70 points in PPR.
Give him credit.
I'm not averages.
A Fournette fan.
He's had over 10 points each game besides week 3. I would have never thought that.
Well, his season average right now with his past 2 big games is I just had it. Dang it! I keep closing out.
Well, he's RB11.
He's 11. Yeah. And he's averaging 16 points a game now, so that's ahead of guys like Joe Mixon, Antonio Gibson.
I just don't trust any Brady running backs. So
Antonio Gibson. Yeah. Anyway.
J.D. McKissick had a good week.
I bet he did.
Really good week. Last but not least, my man, the one and only. He won me 9 games out of 11 this weekend. Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, or a.k.a. King Henry. Put some respect on the name. Leading rusher 3 years straight. MVP this year, no doubt.
Yeah, he's not going to win.
Already has 900 yards rushing.
Does he really?
Almost. No, it's like 860 or something.
You're lying.
I'm dead serious.
He has 783.
Yeah.
He almost has 800, not 900.
Still. In 6 weeks.
He might break. Okay, so it's a 17-game season.
He has 1 extra game this year.
He's on pace to break the record, I think.
He is a monster.
Let me do.
How monster. And I want to thank Cameron personally on this podcast.
He's on pace to break the record.
Thank you for giving me my man back.
You're welcome.
Won me a championship last year, and he will win me another one.
He's going to fade.
No, that's y'all say every year. The man has 47 points, 25 points, 31 points, 35 points.
Well, you better hope.
Over 20 carries a game.
You better hope.
He has one game under 100 yards.
He also has one game under 20 carries. Look.
Dude, he has 10 touchdowns in 6 games.
I guess if anybody can sustain it, it'd be him, but
anyone
you can't sustain
anyone who has over 100 you realize he's broken 110 rushing yards a game?
Oh, he already has 162 carries this year. That's bad.
He's a monster.
He's going to have 400 they're going to run him into the ground.
No, they're not. He is a Greek freak.
You better hope and pray that Tannehill gets his head out of his ass. Otherwise, teams... Look, people can say now that teams are trying to stop the run. They're not trying their best. You can put more guys in the box.
He realized they had Julio and AJ back, and he ran for 158 yards.
Yeah,
I dare you to put that many men in the box. You're going to throw the ball for 300 yards.
Not with the way Tannehill's
playing. He played better.
The way Tannehill's playing, I am making...
Well, first off, his O-line sucks.
I don't care if Tannehill throws for
He's been sacked more than any quarterback in the league.
I'm stopping the run.
Either way, thank you for Henry. Number 1 running back of week 6. Number 1 running back of week 5.
That's correct. And I had him in week 2 when he was the number 1 running back. Thank you, sir. And then I also had Devontae Adams whenever he was the
King Henry.
And Devontae's going to have himself a big week
and I have him in 2 dynasty leagues. So for the next 5 years.
Well, I was going to say, that would be the one that kind of would concern me more. Just for this year.
Why?
162 carries already.
Do you see how he literally is the size of Ben Roethlisberger? He's fun.
You just cannot take... I don't know. Like I said,
he takes care of his body.
I wouldn't put it past him.
He looks like Alien versus Predator.
But every single other running back to ever exist in the history of football, you give them 400 carries a year, and you will run them.
If you watch him, he doesn't get hit hard.
Usually, there was a couple when he gets hit behind the line. Those linebackers, I noticed it. Whenever they finally have him bottled up behind the line, because you don't bring him down, you kind of just stand him up.
Yeah.
Other people come in and try to hit him.
Yeah.
So he will take his share of punishment.
He's still a monster. Yeah. So, for today's end of show, we have 5 Daryl Henderson, 4 Joe Mixon, 3 Jonathan Taylor, 2 Fournette, and 1 Derrick Henry for your top 5 week 6 running backs in fantasy football. I think it's pretty conclusive that at least 3 of those 5 will be top 5 week 7.
Is that right?
I think so.
I just closed out of my app too, so let me go back.
So I think Henry, Jonathan Taylor, and Mixon.
Ooh, well, I hope so. I hope Jonathan Taylor continues to be big. He's my number 1 running back in our.
That's my bold prediction.
You want my bold prediction for this week?
Yeah.
Devontae Adams will have over 10 catches.
Oh, if we're talking about other players.
Over 150. Oh, you want just running backs?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, if you want me to...
Out of these 5 we talked about.
Oh, out of these 5...
Who do you think will actually be top 5 next week?
Well, Derrick Henry, yes.
I thought they were going to learn how to stop the run.
They're playing Kansas City. They can't play defense.
Man, I can't wait to stomp you in both leagues.
They can't play defense. Leonard Fournette will not be back in the top 5 next week, and I will guarantee that.
Guarantee.
Yep.
As you used to say.
Old Charles Barkley guarantee right there. Joe Mixon
needs a fixin'.
Joe Mixon will have 100 yards this week.
So top 5?
No, he will not have 100 yards.
Top
this week.
5.
Yeah, and Jonathan Taylor will have over 100 yards this week.
Okay, so what about Daryl Henderson?
Let me look at his matchup real quick.
See, I didn't need stats. I just trust my
Daryl Henderson. Oh, yeah, Daryl
instincts.
Henderson's going to... Well, Daryl Henderson hasn't broken 100 yards this season. So that would be a bold prediction to say that, yes, he will break 100 this week.
All right.
He's gonna have a. Here's my actual bold prediction. Daryl Henderson will break off a 50-yard plus run this week.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Last thing before we end the show. Tomorrow's matchup.
Oh yeah.
Browns, Cardinals.
No.
Browns,
Broncos.
They played Cardinals last week.
Where are they at? They're at Cleveland.
I'm gonna go Browns.
Give me a score.
27-14.
Oh no, Justin.
Broncos offense is
No
awful.
Baker. No Chubb. No Hunt. No Odell. No Jarvis.
They're in the freaking bulldog cage.
Okay. My prediction is...
The dog pound, baby.
I want to know what the line is.
I don't know what the line is. Let me look at it real quick.
It's not going to sway my pick.
It will
The
sway
line-
mine. So give me a second.
Cleveland -2.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go. All right, I redo mine. 24-21 Broncos.
Oh. What? That's a 15-point swing, Justin.
Well,
you just said Cleveland.
Vegas
27-14.
likes to screw people over. So 24. There's a reason why I lead our betting predictions because I don't follow the stats.
My what?
You also
one
never
game?
responded to my texts. What my
Text?
my text?
What'd you say?
I said what was my record this week. He never responded.
I sent you a picture of your record. You have it right
I
there.
have to do all the counting and all that.
I literally have an actual... Oh, whatever. I'll show you. My score prediction for this game is 26 to 24
Okay.
Broncos.
Oh, so I'm 24-21 Broncos. You're 26.
24.
Okay. All right. Last thing. Very last thing.
26, bro.
Very last thing. Hold on.
That seems way too high of a score.
Well, you already picked it.
Wait, you changed your score by
It's locked
15
in.
points. What do you mean? I can do whatever I want.
It's locked in. We're going to do a little prop bets real quick. All right. Pass attempts. Keenan Allen.
0 was the prop
Keenum.
for half. Case Keenum.
Case
pass
Keenum.
attempt.
Why did I say Keenan Allen needs to be there, huh? Yeah, that's why.
No. You just Keenum.
Keenum, yeah. Case Keenum.
Yes.
Over
Under.
or under 31 pass attempts? Is that it? Yeah.
Is that their official number?
30.5.
Yeah, so 30.5 pass attempts.
Over or under?
Of course it is. You know why? Because I'm looking at Baker right now. 28, 31, 33, 32, 28.
So under?
So they're they're right around. Baker's been right around 30.5 every week. Case Keenum, I'm going to say. Let me take a look.
No.
Justin, how do you bet without?
You gotta
looking?
bet with your gut.
That's stupid. I'm gonna say 31, 30.5.
Okay.
I'm gonna say over.
All right. Over. I'm going under.
I'm gonna say over
I'm going under. And then
because I think they'll be down
interceptions.
for Keenum.
Over.
I bet it's over under 1.5, right?
Over just half.
For Keenum,
Yeah.
over.
Oh, hold on. Yeah. Over 1.5.
1.5 or half.
Half.
Yeah, give me over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over too. All right. Well,
No Broncos props.
I just threw that out there. No, I was more worried about the dog pound.
What are you on?
PFF.
Oh.
Yeah.
You need to go to like FanDuel or DraftKings or something like that. They have player prop bets. But that's for next.
I can adjust the line too. That's kind of sketch. How's that possible?
Probably tell in gambling you can actually make your own line and they'll give you odds.
Oh, really?
Yes. They'll give you odds based off of your line.
You learn something new every day. What's your bet? Your prop? What are you on? Nothing. Oh.
Look at me, I'm chilling. What do you
Oh,
mean?
you're chilling. All right. Anyways, sorry, rambling moment. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe. Thank you for hanging out with the Cave Chatter crew. We really do appreciate y'all. This is the Fantasy Football Talk. I'm Justin.
And I'm Cameron.
Later.
Peace.